What's up, everybody? Rod J back again to check out another beer. Thanks for swinging by to check out another video. Actually doing something a little bit different this time. Actually going to take a look at Labatt Blue. So this is the Canadian Pilsner, top selling beer in Canada, and actually part of AB InBev now. But I ended up grabbing one of these the other day, and just for a couple cheap beers to have around the house, and thought, why not do a review on one of them? So I'm going to go ahead and get this baby in a glass. But this is imported and established right there, 1847. If you're not familiar with Labatt Blue, I think most people are. And on the can, there's not really as much information listed. I was trying to see if there was anything like dates or anything like that, but no, nothing really here. Just imported through Buffalo. So I pulled up some other details. Labatt Blue is the best-selling Canadian beer in the world, introduced in 1951 as Labatt Pilsner. It was named for the color of its label by fans of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers football team. I did not know that. Blue was the first brand in Canada with a twist-off cap and won the silver medal in the International Lager category at the 1998 Brewing Industry and International Awards. Labatt Blue, brewed using specially selected aromatic hops, is a well-balanced, fully matured, full-flavored beer with a fruity character and a slightly sweet aftertaste. Labatt Breweries of Canada has been shaped by close to 170 years of brewing, and makes mention on their website where they are now part of, as I mentioned, AB InBev, Anheuser-Busch. So they put out a ton of beer. Canadians, like I said, do love them. They are the #1 beer in Canada. Let's get it open and get it into a glass and check out this Pilsner. So you take a look at it, I mean, it's got a decent look. You got a lot of lively action taking place, as you can see there with the bubble action. It's got a nice straw golden color to it. Get it to the light. Doesn't really do too much except illuminate it a little bit more so you can really see the bubbles. I mean, they are really racing to the top there. So the carbonation is definitely off the hook there as far as the speed is coming out. And the head actually came out with a nice 2-finger head. It's down to about 1.5 now. And it was pretty much dead on white. Now this head will fade, I believe, pretty quickly, so it's not going to hold the whole time like many of the Pilsners, especially the macros along this line. Maybe if I'd have used a frosted glass, but you know I don't like frosted glasses. That might have helped, but came out nice ice cold out of the fridge with the Pilsner. You usually want to drink those between 35 to about 40, 45 degrees and somewhere in that area, so you want them pretty cold. As far as the aroma, I mean, you do get a presence of that hop. It's kind of an earthiness in the hop. It's kind of got that salt water type breeze aroma in there as well. And it kind of gives it that little bit of a horse blanket type smell, but it got a little bit of a sweetness on the nose. But compared to other macros, I mean, it's right there compared to what you would usually get. The ABV on this one actually is also 5%. So pretty much there, I think, with Budweiser, 12 IBU. So it shouldn't really be as bitter. And it's not. You get an initial hit on the tongue. You have somewhat actually of a refreshing quality in the taste. It goes down without any harshness on the back end. Being a Pilsner, it does have a little bit of a, I want to say, a salty type feel in the taste. I've got that the other day when I did a Heineken as well. So it's kind of got that going on with it. A little bit of a sweetness on the back end. So they are correct in that regard. You do pick that up a little bit. Duration, actually, probably pretty much a short to average duration. It's hanging around a little bit, but it's not going to be something I think that'll last as long as like what you would get using on some of your craft beers. A little bit of a graininess in the taste. Now, the one thing I like on this one versus some of the other macros, it gets off the tongue nicely. I can actually feel it up in the cheek area. I can feel some nice tingling taking place, so it does bring the mouth alive a little bit. Definitely more of a medium body beer. Carbonation, as much as lively as you've seen it in there, it actually is not too overly carbonated at all, so it sits very nice on the palate. Getting a pretty good flavor with it without any type of overcarbonation. Texture is definitely not dry. It's not thin, but it's got that watery type feel to it, but barely, like more on the back end. It's more like a thirst quenching wateriness on the back end, and actually makes it a refreshing type beer in that regard. On a hot day, this actually isn't a bad type of beer to have. I think you can actually kick back and throw these down pretty easy. It's pretty much a chuggable type beer for sure. Yeah, Labatt Blue, not too bad overall. Definitely one you can check out if you haven't had it before. With that all being said, hey, I appreciate you swinging by, check out another video. I look forward to catching you next time. Cheers.